talking about their loved one. We don't want to feel uncomfortable. And so in the book that just came out, I have a section of that. I call it Come Alongside. And I was able to interview, I think it was 8 people, all who I've met through different grief groups that I've been part of. Some had lost a spouse and some had lost children, and there was a couple suicides. And I asked them if they would help contribute to the book by answering 3 questions. 1, what helped you? 2, what did not help you? And the third one was, have you found any kind of meaning or hope since your loved one's death? And so they were all very honest. They wrote, they emailed me what they wrote, and I edited really nothing. And, and there is some repetition, but I thought, what, for those reading it who need to learn more or want to learn more about this, if 8 people all said a couple of the same things, that must mean there's some validity in that. So, pay attention. But and that's some of the comments I'm getting from people after they read it is like, thank you. I learned, yes, thank you. I want to be better at this. I want to know what I should say and what I shouldn't say. And, is it too late to send a card a month later? And, is it okay to bring up their name? And I mean, all the things that we say, no, it's not too late. Yes, say their name. All the things. And I know you understand exactly what I'm saying, Nita, after the loss of your daughter. There's so many things that people just don't know, and they're so uncomfortable, and it makes me sad and so part of my campaign is to, let's get better at this, and that's what I speak to other groups about. Other than grief groups, I go to other places and talk about, do you want to get better? Do you want to not have such sweaty palms when you walk up in the reception line at the visitation, because you're going to have a word or no words, but just a gentle hug and I care and I'm so sorry, whatever, but
yes.
That part really kind of, I get going on that because I think there's work to be done.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And I can't tell you how many times you could feel the awkwardness in a conversation because somebody would want to say something, are you doing okay? Or, because for me, it's been only 12 years. And it's always, it is so amazing to me how, as time just continues to move on, when shortly after Dara's passing, my mailman, I don't even know how he knew, but it was 2 weeks after her passing. And he had said he lost his daughter 3 years ago from breast cancer. And he just said it's hell. And I hate telling you this, but I just want you to know that it's hell and you never completely recover from this. And I just thought, oh my God, are you kidding? In 3 years? In 3 years, I'm going to have it all together. I'm going to understand this. My heart will be wrapped around it and my heart will feel better. And no, I mean, it's better. We do better.
And darn, he was right.
Yes. So even when you say 28 years and 26 years, and I'm thinking as a listener, it's like, my gosh, that's a lifetime. That's somebody's whole lifetime. And you still feel that pain. And it's like, yes, because it's your child. And that's what I tell people. And that's why it was so important for me to be able to find a way. And I had said for 10 years, how can I say Dara's name all of the time without people going, oh my God, there's that crazy woman talking about her dead daughter again. And then it's like, boom, Dara, a New Belief podcast. So I get to say Dara, like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 50 times a week. So,
I know that's what I tell people. I am privileged with my speaking that I get to keep Oleg and Tim's memory alive because I tell their stories all the time and I wrote about them and now people know them both better because they've read about them. And, because when I speak to a grief group, well, any group, I don't talk a lot about Oleg because, the story of Tim alone gives me so much to talk about as far as the whole grief journey. But I do mention that, that we lost a second child and, but there's so much more to his story and that's fun to be able to share that in some ways now too. But it's just a challenge and people, people will look at me with these, grief eyes that we know what those look like, that, you can see into their souls through how the look in their face. And they say, well, when was it? How long did it take before whatever, fill in the blank? And it's like, my thought is, do I lie to them? Or, and so I try as gently as I can to say, well, this, if we all got to do what we know is the right order of things, we would all die before our children die, and we would love them till our deaths, right?
Right.
So why would we not love them with that much intensity, even though they're not here?
Yes.
Yes. Just because they are physically not in our life, we bring them with us. They're part of the tapestry who makes us who we are now.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It
No.
doesn't stop. And they continue weaving that tapestry as the years go on, while we're navigating it without them here. It's
That's right.
You were saying that when you're speaking to people and being able to keep Tim's memory and Oleg's memory alive as you're sharing these stories, and how it is, because that's exactly what we want. That's exactly what we want to be able to do, is to keep those memories alive and to keep them with us, side by side with us, as we're navigating all of this. And I think for the people who are able to hear that, to know that I don't have to shut that piece of me down. I don't have to be quiet there. I get to continue, and helping other people learn how to be helpers. And then I can continue talking about my child and saying their name, and just when we get to help one another and hold our hand out to help one other person take another step, my God, the healing that's in that. It's just so powerful.
Yeah. It has this amazing pebble effect that goes, because if we can be healthier and help someone else be healthier, our world needs so much more of that. So much more of that.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. All of the time, and not just because of what we're going through with COVID right now. We need it all of the time. But I mean, it's such a great message now to help people to know that, you can go through tragedies and you still can be able to help other people navigate, and you still can live a full life, fully engaged with it. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So,
I have this wonderful quote. This wonderful quote that I found this little garden stone a few years ago. It was actually at Cub Foods in their seasonal section, and it just says, "The greatest gift we can give to those who have left us is to live fully in their place." And I use that quote all the time. I say that all the time. And I say, I want to make my boys proud of me when we are reunited. And that's where the title of the book came from. What have you done since I left? And if do I have time to share the story of where that title came from?
Please.
Okay.
Please.
So it's in one of our, we facilitate two different grief groups in town. One is what I call the general grief group. It's almost entirely a spousal loss. And then we have this group called Gone Too Soon, which is just for child loss. And it was in one of the groups. Sometimes, we had people, of course, have people come in who are maybe, it's been very recent since the loss of their loved one, and they're quite even almost despondent and really barely made it to the meeting, and really don't really care that much about whatever they thought they maybe should be doing or what they used to do, and just kind of lost any zest for life. And I don't usually have to say anything, because someone else in the group who is further along their journey will say, but what would he or she want you to do? And it was during one of those conversations that my husband said he kind of just didn't hear what we were saying anymore, but he had this little video that started going through his head. He said he envisioned himself. He had died, my husband had died, and he was meeting Tim in heaven. And there was, of course, this amazing reunion. And then eventually they sat down at a table and across from each other, and Tim reached out for his dad's hands. And Dick said he was really excited. His eyes were big, and he said, "Dad, tell me everything you've done since I left."
Oh.
And so that's where the title of the book came from. What have you done since I left?
Oh.
And I often leave a group with that thought, and I can tell the wheels are turning because it's like, wow. I said, I don't know that that's going to happen. I can't guarantee that will happen, but what if it does?
Yes.
What if that question is asked of you? How do you want to answer it? And if the tables were turned, how would you want your loved one answering it?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And I go with the exact same theory. And I know that was the thing that got me through because I constantly, I would flip it around and say, like, what would I be saying there? And I'd be saying, oh my God, are you serious? Liv, you're down there. Come on. This is great. I'm watching everything. Get out there and live and do it. And there would just be a little bit of a spark of life, a little bit more that, okay, I can take a shower today or whatever little thing, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness. So Donna, I'm so honored, and I'm just so honored and so privileged to have you here with us. And I can't wait to get my hand on both of your books. And of course, that will be in the show notes because of course we've run out of time. This 30 minutes was by like there's just a blink of an eye.
Sure does. Sure does.
Oh my gosh, there's so much more to talk about. We may just have to pick this up again. So on your website, which is unfinishedbydesign.com, is Donna's information and her speaking, what do I want to say? Speaking availability to contact you for speaking. And would you purchase the books from your website also, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When you purchase from my website, I actually stock some of those books myself. So I will sign any book that they purchase will be signed as well.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay. So that will be in the show notes, Donna's website, so you can get your hands on the books. And I can't wait to do that. I love the title. What have you done since I left? And the other book title was a journal for your journey, and the journey card decks. So with great honor and great homage to Tim and to Oleg and to you and Dick and Jill and your other two children, thank you, or other, I guess it would be then one other child. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing and being with us and just being such a light in a world that we know how dark that can be. Thank you, Donna, for being here and sharing with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. And for all of the listeners, I know that there's information in there that would help you, and please pass this on to somebody else who you know can use some light and some hope and a lift up. So until next week, thank you all for being here. Have a beautiful week. Thank you again, Donna, and bye-bye for now.
Thank you for spending time with us today. Please go to nadahogan.com for show notes and other information you can use right away. If you like what you heard here, please subscribe to our show and don't forget to rate and review right there on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your shows. And don't forget to tell your friends about it. We'll see you next week.